What's up, guys? Do you know how to change a clutch on an E36? Me either, but that's what we're gonna do. Not only are we changing the clutch, but I have pretty much every seal to replace on the transmission seal. Probably gonna be multiple parts because it'll be a long video if not, but there'll be one of me pulling the transmission, probably changing the clutch, and then another of me rebuilding all the clutch parts, transmission parts, rebuilding all the transmission parts. As you can see, I have lots of parts. I'll probably go into everything as I do it, but got all the shifter parts. Oh yeah, another thing, rebuilding the shifter, all the bushings in the shifter, a new DSSR dual shear shifter rod. You gotta go into your car, check for some leaks. Don't know what that's from. Here is where we kind of will start. So here's our lovely transmission right here. I may need to jack the car higher. Not sure how I'm gonna get that out, but first thing we're gonna do is spray some PB Blaster on these exhaust bolts because they look very crusty. And I have to remove this X brace that I put in, drop the clutch slave, drain the fluid. I think I have to drop the exhaust and the drive shaft. Oh boy, this is getting more fun.
Yo, boy.
Alright, so I did not film, but it's okay. I removed the X brace, which there's a video of me installing this X brace, so I did the opposite of that. It's just 6 bolts. 2 small ones here, 2 big ones on the back. There's some PB up on these. I was able to crack all of them loose. Now I need to just get a wrench on the other side so I can get them off. It looks like 2 of these were replaced with a larger size, I think an 18 mil. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna take those off and then disconnect it in the very back before it goes to the cat back. So that way I don't have to take off the muffler. I'll just remove those and take out this whole midsection, disconnect the drive shaft, and take off all this gross cancer blanket. And then there's some heat shielding that I'm gonna get rid of and replace with I don't know what you call it. It's like a matte fiber thing. Got the entire mid pipe out. What I did was I removed the 6 bolts, 3 on each. I had to disconnect my cat back, and then I zip tied that up out of the way because the pipes want to flop all over. It's probably gonna leak from there again. I'll probably have to do more tape after, but that's okay. And then there's 2 bolts, 2 little guys like this, holding in the exhaust, and that was right here. You can see the mounts. So these are the little rubber mounts. These are fine. Don't need to change those. And then I got to the O2 sensors and I tried to take it off here. No. There's plugs. So each one has its own plug and there's a little harness. I tried to mark one with Sharpie to correspond with this one, and then this one has paint and that one has paint. So paint pen and a Sharpie so you don't lose track. And then I'll put all my bolts in a bag. I'm gonna take this heat shield out, and then I'll be able to remove the drive shaft. After a good struggle, I got these 3 bolts out. So you can see it's just been spinning. So now I'm gonna take out these 2 to get the center support bearing out, and then see if I have to take it out of the diff. I'm trying, but I'm gonna have to remove these 4 bolts, unfortunately. And fun fact, if you remember back to the E30 drive shaft, we had big issues right here, but it looks like they're smart and did studs rather than a bolt going through a hole, because that's the E30 had holes and you threaded in there, and one of them was stripped, so I had to do all that fun stuff. But luckily they fixed that issue on the E36. So cool like seeing other things they've done. Like every drive shaft has these U-joints that you can change, whereas the E30, you just had to get a whole new drive shaft or take it to a shop. Here I just got the drive shaft out. Basically I undid it from the diff side over here, then I undid it from the transmission side, and there's a brace right here holding it in, so I undid the brace and then it came down. I kind of just pulled it out from there and then threw it back there. And now I'm gonna start removing all this cancer blanket and remove the shift linkage, and then eventually take the transmission out. So much f***ing crap just fell out of there. And I'm wearing a mask because there's definitely like cancer shit. So I'm gonna start vacuuming all this garbage up. It's just dumping on me. I'm afraid to keep going because I'm just getting covered. Alright, this is all over me. Gross. That was awful. I didn't even get all of it out, but shout out Harbor Freight Vacuum, because this stuff, I should probably not go under here after I just washed, but I got most of it out. It kind of, you can see it way back here. So this actually goes all the way onto the firewall, so it kind of wraps around and then just goes up. So I can't get any more. I've gotten all of it out. It's basically back to here. I'm gonna try to remove this clip up here, aka the bitch clip. I've seen people take a screwdriver and kind of pry it up, so we're gonna try that. I'm gonna take off this, I believe it's the slave cylinder. Yeah, and then the transmission should be ready to go. I got it. Got the bitch clip, so wasn't even really trying, but take a little screwdriver and you kind of go from this. You mostly have to feel it around with your hands, but I kind of jammed it in there, and so I was under it and I just yanked it to this side and it popped it. So let's see what it looks like. So there you go. This is what it looks like. So basically I jammed it under this piece and cranked it this way, so it popped itself up. Boom. Almost. Right here. I should probably take this off. I like to struggle. Boom. Alright. Nice. So here's the shifter rod. So I'm going to remember the V is facing up, so the bottom of the V is up. There's my shifter. So here's my shifter. This whole thing kind of just pulled on out here, so that's cool. And then this bushing, I have a replacement. I think for this, you just kind of pry it on out of here. Looks like it sits in these little grooves. It kind of goes in there like this. So probably have to fix these little grooves. Slave cylinder out, just 2 bolts, 13s. You can see the hole right there, so you can actually see where it pushes, that little shiny spot. That's where when you depress the clutch it extends and pushes there. I'm definitely gonna bleed it just by pumping it with my hand once I take the trans out. 12mm E Torx holding the starter in, and it's kind of hidden under this blanket, so I'm gonna do those right now. and start to work my way around. I don't know why I work on cars. This is fucking awful. My hands all fucked up. I'm trying to get the starter. I'm not even gonna go under there, but it's 2 bolts and one's at the very top of the transmission. And I have about 3 feet of sockets with wobblies. I'm trying to get it. I'm reaching my hand up there. It's getting all cut, like it's literally rubbed raw. Trying to find it and get the fucking socket on, and I can't get it on there. So I don't know. I think what I'm gonna have to do is drop the transmission brace. You can't see anything. So I need to drop this brace, I think, pull the transmission down just to get that stupid bolt out. And I don't want to do this and get crushed to death. So I'll probably have to lower it, put a jack under here, and then try to get that bolt out. I'm gonna call it from here because I'm just getting so frustrated. I want to just drop the car off the stands right now. We're gonna party hardy. So basically I have this is a motorcycle jack on a roller. My plan is to, once I pull the transmission, I can lower it on here and then kind of roll it out. Already I don't think it's gonna clear because this is very tall. I'll figure that out later, but I'm gonna prop it up here and then take off this brace so that way I can pull it down a little to get to those bolts on the top. I believe the starter, and then there's one to the right of it. Alright guys, after a long struggle, transmission is out. It's very hard. It kept, there's like dowels and stuff, so it did not want to come off. You also had to clear the clutch, so I had to pull it out probably this far. And then it kind of came down, and then of course, like I said, my jack and dolly were too high, so I had to kick those out, and then it's on a block of wood on cardboard. There's the clutch. This was not easy, not fun. I think the hardest part is yet to come, which will be putting it all back together. But, you know, I made a giant mess. I can't wait to cut out this blanket, because this blanket made it so hard to see the bolts. That was like the worst part. Can't wait to start taking it apart, changing all the seals. I'm covered in garbage. Hell yeah. Here she is, the little ZF transmission. Here's the inside things you can't see. Right, so I ended up getting out all that blanket material. It was all over here. So that's all good. Took out the thing that protects the fuel filter. Definitely gonna try to clean this up a bit because that's before. This is the after, freshly painted flat black. It's stripped, so I'm gonna use, God, I'm shaky. I'm gonna use my welder, weld this little wrench in here, and hopefully be able to smack it out with a hammer. Okay. All right, so live action. It's still warm, so I'm gonna try to get it off right now. Hopefully it moves. I don't know if you could see, sorry. My head is big, my mic died, so. You're a whore. Why do I? Come on. Put your purse down and hit it, right? Yes. Yes, get you. You stupid bolt. Sorry for the cursing. Get you a little welder and all your strip bolts will come out. Voila. Voila. I was gonna try to cut a little slit in it and do that, but that doesn't work really well. I've never had good luck with it. And I got the welder, so might as well put it to use. Oh. I feel like that's not that bad. I don't know. What do I know, though? Interesting. You guys could tell me, is this good clutch, bad clutch? I mean, it looks fine. I don't know, though. Alright, what is up, guys? It's me from the future. Forgot to film an outro, so stay tuned. More on this job, finishing up the car, getting it running and driving. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.